Hello, Cosmic Fam. It's your girl, Cosmic Jazz 222, and today I am back with another pick a card. And this pick a card is going to be tailored towards what uplifting messages you need to know right now. And I just felt like it was a really needed message and reading for you guys. So I just wanted to do that today. For those of you guys who are returning, Cosmic Fam, welcome back. Really happy for you guys to be here and much love to y'all. And for those of you guys who are new to the channel, hi, my name is Jazz. I'm a Psychic here on YouTube, and I do a variety of readings on here. Yes, this includes pick a cards, collective messages, celebrity readings. Yes, we dive into that too, astrological breakdowns, and honestly, anything dealing with spirituality, religion, conspiracy, or anything that's happening up in the stars, okay? So some disclaimers before I introduce the piles. This is just a general reading, guys, okay? So that means not every single thing is going to resonate. I would highly suggest that you please take what resonates and leave what doesn't, and use my readings more as confirmation and guidance rather than a prediction or the end-all be-all, okay? And remember, you do have free will, so no matter what I say in this reading, you have the free will to change the outcome, and energy is bound to change. So just keep that in mind. Now, let's get into the piles. So for pile 1, we have the rose quartz, and it's the shape of a heart. Okay, and then pile 2, you have the pink evil eye. And then pile 3, you'll have the pink cat's eye, I believe. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna pause the video. Take your time, okay? Don't rush, and see what pile resonates with you, which pile you're gravitated towards. It can be the number, it could be the stones or the trinkets, whatever the case may be. Pick what pile that resonates with you, and that will be your message. Now, if you have a little bit of issues, using your intuition, that I totally get that. What you can do as an alternative is you go on Google and just type in a random number generator for 1 through 3, and it will generate a number for you that will correspond to your pile. And I find that to be really helpful as well. So with that being said, I will see you guys at your reading. Hello, pile 1. So if you chose the rose quartz, this will be your reading. So honestly, I love this crystal, and this is regarding healing with anything dealing with matters of the heart and also self-love. So maybe you could be dealing with, learning to love yourself, or learn to accept what is and what's been, and just be able to move forward with this more compassionate side of yourself, where you give yourself grace and you give others grace at the same time. So maybe that could be something you're currently going through. So what I want to do first, I want to look at your current energy. I want to see where you're at right now, and then we're going to get into your reading. I have some of your oracle cards pre-shuffled, but let's see, what does pile 1 need to know? What uplifting message do they need to know? What's their current energy? Okay. So your card is dedicated effort, and this is technically the 8 of Pentacles. That's how I would view this card. And we also have choose your battles. Okay, so what I am seeing currently, pile 1, I think you are most definitely putting in the effort towards a specific goal. I heard work in progress. So I feel like you have been taking steps into accomplishing anything, or I guess if this could be a project, if this could be a relationship, maybe your own soul journey, you are actively taking steps and progressing along that specific journey. And this card is a good indicator as confirmation that you are most definitely making a lot of progress, and not all of your efforts are in vain. So whether you feel like you've been delayed in some way, or you've received some type of blockage in your path, you're still making progress nevertheless, okay? And I feel like once you complete everything, once you get to that end stage, when you look back at your journey, you're going to see how beautiful it was. whether it was the lessons, whether it was heartbreak, the tears, and also the healing and the happiness and the joy that you experienced. The whole journey is a beautiful painting that you have left behind. So with that being said, that's where I feel like you are right now. And with Choose Your Battles as the other card, I do feel like this is a reminder to please invest your energy into things that really matter, okay? Not everything or not everyone deserves your attention. Make sure you are allocating your energy wisely, because your energy and your hard work and your vision are very important, very essential, and they hold a lot of essence. You just don't want to give it out to just anybody or anything, right? So with that being said, let's get into your tarot cards. So I will be shuffling things on camera, and we're going to see what uplifting messages you need to hear, okay? So 2 cards already flipped over. We have the Knight of Cups and then the Nine of Wands, okay? And then we're going to pull one more for you guys. And then we have the Two of Wands here. Right, okay. And then the overall energy is the Knight of Swords. Underlying energy is the Six of Cups. So pile 1, I think you are the group who is definitely getting tested right now. That's what I'm feeling. And I specifically am hearing your faith being tested. So I'm seeing that you are on this specific journey and chapter. I feel like you guys are really trying to accomplish something here, or you have a vision and you want to complete that. If this is dealing with your career, if it's dealing with school, if it's dealing with some type of acceptance or finally meeting somebody or having a successful relationship and tying the knot in some way, whatever the case may be, or moving, I heard moving, whatever the case may be, guys, I feel like maybe recently or even now you are going through a bit of a test where you feel like the more you try to push forward, the more you're being brought backwards. Okay, and I know that's a pretty frustrating energy to experience here. Now with the Knight of Cups, this is telling me that you are coming in here with pure intentions. That's what I can see with this. Knight of Cups is someone who is going through a journey, but it's not really at a fast pace. They're going through it from their heart space and feeling out what feels right to them. So I feel like whatever you are currently dedicating your energy towards, your emotions are definitely in it. You're emotionally connected to this thing. So I see why this is very important to you. Now, the thing about the Knight of Cups, this is also a card of maturation, okay? Maturing at an effective rate. So what I can see with this pair with the Nine of Wands, which is talking about someone who is in it, but they feel like they're constantly being beat down. They're constantly feeling like, you know, this is a uphill battle or an uphill fight that they have to experience. And then the Two of Wands can speak of a decision that needs to be made here. But it also speaks of there are plans that should happen. There are plans that are made already, and you have the tools to be able to move forward with this thing. Okay, so this message is saying that this is the confirmation for you that you are on the right track. You know, pile 1, you definitely are on the right track. And just because you're being met with some delays, and I know you're feeling tired out, you're feeling a little bit exhausted by the whole thing, by the amount of effort you're putting in, just know that it will pay off. And like I said before, all your efforts will most definitely showcase here. And you're going to realize that this journey was much needed. And it was actually a very effective journey, more than anything. You know, you are making the progress. You are doing what you need to do. Okay. Now, I'm also seeing for some of you guys, I also feel like this could be dealing with matters of the heart, because I am getting emotions here and also passion. Knight of Cups can speak of an offer. This can speak of someone who wants to follow their heart and they feel gravitated towards maybe someone, or maybe someone is gravitated towards you. But I feel like even with love, if this is pertaining to love, you feel like it's always been an uphill battle. You always felt like love was a battle. Okay, now I'm channeling the song Love is a Battle by, what's her name? Pat. I gotta look up the name. I'll put it here. But it's an old 80s song, I believe. And I would recommend you guys checking that song out if that resonates with you. But this can even talk about feeling like love has always been a battle for you. You never have felt that reciprocity or that equal give and take that you're constantly craving for. Now with the Two of Wands, this is speaking of opening up your horizon. So, you know, pile 1, maybe the type of people you could be interacting with or constantly interact with, maybe they're not the people for you. Maybe you have to expand the group of people you want to interact with or you want to get to know. You know, sometimes if we go after the same type of people, most likely it might be the same type of lessons that we repeat, you know, but it's just the same energy in different bodies. So maybe that could also be a message that, you know, you need to reflect on. Not everything the same would be good for you. And there's a phrase that's coming to mind. It's like, if you want change, you make that change. Don't try to settle for the same thing over and over again. So I'm not sure who needs to hear that, but I'm definitely getting that message, okay? So now I want to get into your oracle cards, okay? Oracle card. So the first card you have is Anna, grandmother of Jesus. Seeding the light, laying foundations in divine plan. So again, this is confirmation, pile 1, that there is a divine plan for you and you're most definitely on the path to completing that divine plan. Just know anything you encounter is for a reason. Like I said before, either if it's the setbacks, if it's the karmic lessons you're going through, as much as we all hate it and we want to, you know, just have a smooth transition and ride throughout the whole thing, honestly, that doesn't really build character. That doesn't really make the journey any more interesting, right? So just know that you will be completing whatever this is, okay? And for some of you guys, maybe you are religious, maybe you are, you know, a Christian. So if you resonate with Jesus or Christ consciousness, this message is most definitely for you. And he's definitely by your side during this time, making sure that you are being guided and that you're following his light. So with that being said, we will also look into the other cards. We have releasing, okay? And then we also have process your feelings, howl at the moon. So I'm definitely getting a lot of emotions right now, pile 1. Remember, everything happens for a reason, but if you feel you're feeling very emotional at this time and you feel like you need to release, definitely do that. I'm actually recording this video during the full moon in Taurus, so this is an amazing time for you to release any emotions and to set intentions to release any blockages, okay? Release any baggages, especially emotional baggages that could be stopping you throughout the process, and you possibly need a little help with that sector, right? So I'm also getting, I did mention before when I was talking about your crystal, you know, you accepting what has happened and what is. I'm also getting pile 1, if you are constantly ruminating about the past and you are afraid of making mistakes or repeating that same cycle, just know that could be something you can work through during this time. You know, just because we made certain decisions in the past, that doesn't necessarily mean that it will repeat. If we don't like what we went through, if we didn't like the decisions we made in the past, that's fine. But what we can do in the present moment is plan, change, adjust as we need to, and then we can create the future we want where we don't repeat those patterns. We don't go through the same thing. We actually change the outcome because we learned the lesson. So during this time, please release any emotional baggage that you're still carrying. If this is dealing with, you know, failures, rejections, if this is dealing with, you know, career or schools, if it's dealing with love, heartbreak, pain, betrayal, any of that, or even with family. You know, if you felt like you've been betrayed by family or friends or even your coworkers, release all of those feelings, because those lessons aren't necessarily going to help you if you're holding on to the grudges, okay? What you can take from it is the knowledge, the wisdom. That's what you're supposed to carry next into the next cycle, besides the baggage and the pain and all of that. So if you feel like you're still holding on to some feelings, if you feel like there's no closure, give yourself that closure. And definitely process everything during this time, okay? Now we're gonna pull from, this is the Starseeds deck I have, so I'm going to look and see. We have signs. The universe has been gently nudging you forward by revealing to you signs and synchronicities. So if you've been seeing angel numbers or certain symbolisms constantly, that is a sign from the universe that you are on the right path and you are being guided. You're not alone in this, okay? We got Gaia. Connect to the pulse of Mother Earth. She will guide you through this time of change. And then lastly, we have advancement. A strong energy is propelling you forward. Follow the stirrings of your heart. So what I can say for a fact, Pile 1, you have a lot of spirit guides guiding you at this time. If it's guardian angels, if it's your ancestors, even loved ones that have passed over, you have a lot of spiritual protection and spiritual guidance around you. And if you know this, it's just confirmation for you. But if you feel like you're not really connected to that, you know, this could be an amazing time for you to definitely, you know, extend that olive branch or be more open to the signs that you are receiving. Because what I can see for a fact, the main message is you are advancing, okay? And everything is working out as it should. So even though, like I stated before, you're being met with some blockages, with some delays, sometimes the timing may not be right at that specific instant. And maybe some things have to happen in a chronological order in order for things to be progressed forward. So I want you to remember that as, you know, we continue on with your reading. But just know that if you are constantly receiving signs, just know this is signs from God or from the universe or from your spirit team that everything is lining up. Some patience can help, yes, especially if you find yourself a little bit impatient. But patience is definitely the key here. And releasing the need to control, you know. Some things we don't have control over. But what we do have control over is our actions, our reactions to certain things. So I think the best thing about all this is just release that control and know you're being taken care of, okay? Now we're going to head into your final cards. We can't always know why. We won't always understand other people's feelings, actions, and that's perfectly fine. So that's very interesting. You know, Pile 1, I wouldn't be surprised if you always are searching for answers, because I'm kind of feel like you're at a point in your life right now where things might be confusing and you possibly don't know where you're going. So I get why there's that frustration of like, why am I constantly being blocked off, or why there's delays or curveballs. Sometimes it's better to not know what lies ahead, because where's the surprise in that? And that can be scary. I'm not gonna lie, you know, sometimes not knowing is scary. And I feel like some of you guys might even be readers and you try to like see, oh, what to expect in your future. Or you're possibly getting a lot of readings, you know. What I can say is it's fine to not know. There is beauty in mystery, and there's beauty in having the courage to go head first into the unknown. You know, there's beauty in that. But remember, again, everything is working out. Sometimes that's all the confirmation we need to know. Like, okay, we know everything is working out. You know, how it happens is possibly none of our business, you know. Just want to put that out there. Sometimes it is none of our business. It's just, let's go with the ride and see what happens. And maybe this is the lesson you have here. You know, learning to let go, learning to live, learning to be present instead of focusing too much on the future or the past. Be present, Pile 1. Now, finally, I want to give you guys a self-care card that can help you along the journey and the time you're in right now. Okay, we have Connect with the Earth, number 13. 13 is also relating to transformation. If you think about tarot, 13 is connected to the Death card, which is all about endings and beginnings. But what I can also say is 13 reduces down to 4. 1 plus 3 equals 4. That's all about stability. That's all about you feeling protected. So maybe taking a walk out of nature can help you ground and be present in the moment. So with that being said, Pile 1, I hope that resonated, and I'm sending you guys a lot of love. As a final reminder, you are on the right path. Everything is working out in your favor, and you have nothing to worry about. You're in good hands. So with that being said, I hope to see you guys later. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. So if you chose the pink evil eye, this is your reading. So when it comes to the evil eye, this is usually to help repel any negative vibes or juju that people may send to us. This includes, you know, jealousy. People are envious of us. People probably wishing on our downfall or speaking very illy about us. So maybe you feel like you need a little bit more protection at this time, because maybe you're dealing with a lot of negativity and you don't want nothing to do with it. And I totally get that. So let's see what your message is. Okay, so I want to first look into what your current energy is, okay? So let's see. Pile 2, what is their current energy? We have the throat chakra. Number 5, and I looked at the over energy. We have teach. This is technically the Hierophant. And then underlying energies believe and succeed. So what's so interesting about your energy, pile 2, I'm actually getting that there is a need for you to speak up more or to really utilize your voice for good. The throat chakra is pertaining to our expression. It talks about our ideas, right? Our ideas, what we express, how we express ourselves, what we feel, what we think, and us essentially expressing it to the world. So I think right now, maybe you want to say something. Maybe there's something in your heart and mind that you really want to express, but maybe you've been going back and forth with, should you bring this up or should you say something about it? Now, this could be regarding a person. This could be regarding a whole situation where there is multiple people involved, whatever the case may be. There is something here about you advocating for yourself a little bit more. So maybe you're learning to activate this specific chakra, and maybe you have. And I would suggest working with the color blue. Maybe the color blue resonates with you. Or maybe you have an aura. Your aura color is blue or turquoise or something along that nature. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to put your card over here. I'm going to put it over here. Now let's get into your tarot cards. So let's see, what does pile 2 need to know? What uplifting message do they need to know now? We have the 7 of Cups. Okay. So you want to take a little bit of a closer peek. Here it is. Let's see. Pile 2, what message do they need to know? We got the 8 of Swords. Yes, pile 2, I'm definitely seeing you in your head. You're definitely in your head. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles. All right, and the overall energy is the King of Wands. The underlying energy is the Ace of Wands. Ace of Swords, my bad. Ace of Swords, okay. So what's so interesting is this is most definitely talking about communication and you expressing yourself. This also speaks of an opportunity to do so. Now, here's the thing, pile 2. I feel like you want clarity regarding a situation here. Now, we have a King of Wands. Wow, the Magician. This is literally speaking of communication, but this also speaks of having the resources to manifest something into existence. But a lot of times it is dealing with our own mind and our own speech, okay? King of Wands could be a potential fire sign. So this is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or somebody who is very, very charming, someone who is charismatic. They are a leader, and someone who's not afraid of using their fire when needed. So what I'm getting from this is I feel like you need clarity regarding a situation, okay? And I feel like this clarity will then help you to make some type of action forward with the 8 of Pentacles here. But let me break it down to you. 7 of Cups is speaking of not seeing a situation clearly, okay? The 8 of Swords can speak of you being trapped in your head mentally because there's no clarity, there's confusion. And then the 8 of Pentacles, this is all about mastering some type of lesson or some type of skill and making progress no matter what. So I'm actually getting, pile 2, if you find yourself not being given any closure or clarity, if you find yourself confused regarding a situation, the message that's coming through is maybe that situation is not good for you. Maybe this is something you shouldn't be involving yourself in. And that's why I do have the Evil Eye amulet here. Even though I didn't know what cards were going to come out, but I kind of see why. It feels a little bit negative, I'm not going to lie. It kind of feels like you would want to ideally remove yourself from this situation. This could be regarding people's intentions. 7 of Cups is definitely a card of confusion because it's like there's multiple avenues, multiple outcomes that could occur, but we don't necessarily know what will occur. And the 7 of Cups can even speak of a choice that we have to make, even though we may not know all the details. So I'm actually getting, pile 2, I think it's best for you to continue to focus on yourself, okay? Continue to focus on what you got going on, and don't let the confusion really mess with you or sway you off your path, especially if it's dealing with certain people, right? All I gotta say is, if it confuses you, it's not in alignment with you. That's all I gotta say about that. If something is clear, if something makes sense to you, then you know, okay, that's where I need to go. I think the message here is think more logically in the situation. Yes, our emotions, we feel things, and definitely intuition is a big key thing. But I think the one thing people don't talk a lot about is sometimes our intuition is our logic. Sometimes that is the case. You know, sometimes intuition doesn't necessarily have to be feelings, because feelings do come and go, right? When we speak of emotions in general. But when it comes to logic, this is our time to really think and reflect and see, okay, does this make sense to us, or does it, or if it doesn't? So if you're noticing that you're having this bit of internal conflict with some type of situation, just know that it most likely may not be good for you or aligned with you. You possibly shouldn't be resonating with it in any case. But focus with the Eight of Pentacles on the things that do matter. I'm also getting Pile 2. I feel like this is also a lesson you're going through. Learning to differentiate between what's logical and what's illogical. Things that are real versus things that are not real. I'm kind of getting that's what's happening with your energy right now. And it feels like that is a skill that's actually being tested right now and being upgraded in some type of way. So if you feel like your intuition is being tested, most likely it is. Maybe this is a time for you to figure out the red flags regarding situations or people, right? And you learn to pick up on certain cues. So it kind of feels like maybe this is something you've been dealing with in the past. And now it's like your breaking moment where you finally have that light bulb, okay? King of Wands, I'm finally confident in my decisions. I see what's happening here with the evil eye. And then even with the throat chakra, this could be you finally expressing yourself. Throat chakra even deal with logic, okay? You using your logic and you speaking reason, being the voice of reason. Okay, now that message was to come through. You being the voice of reason in a situation, okay? And sometimes if you want clarity, simply ask, okay? If you are waiting for that clarity, sometimes that doesn't come through unless you ask for it. So maybe that is something you also have to keep in mind. And if you still are confused about a situation despite asking for that clarity, then that's most definitely your cue to, you know, dip out. All right. So now I want to get into your oracle cards. We have Mentaken. Longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. So I definitely feel like I understand why you guys might be having a bit of internal conflict between, you know, your intuition, your logic, your emotions, what's real, what's not real. I feel like you guys may be even questioning your own gut feelings about certain things. And the reason why is, if we think about Mintaka, this is a starseed system that's located in the Orion belt or Orion belt. I don't know, however you guys want to pronounce it, but it's one of the star seeds, right? So maybe you identify as a star seed, for example. But now when it comes to longing for home and belonging, the reason why these messages are coming through is because usually Mentaken star seeds, they feel like they don't belong in certain places. They feel like they never belonged and they always felt like an outcast, because if you think about the whole lore behind these star seeds, it's because their planet got destroyed. So there's this subconscious feeling of I don't belong here, or like I never fit in. I kind of feel like that is maybe something you're going through right now. Maybe you feel like you're not fitting in with certain people. Maybe you feel like you're not in the right environment, and maybe that's something you need to express, right? Sometimes not speaking is actually a detriment to you. So again, if you want some clarity about a situation, ask for it, gain that clarity. But if it's still not there, then that's your time to leave, you know? But I'm getting like even being connected to mermaids. So we have process your feelings. That's interesting. This came out for another pile. I'm not going to say which one. You'll figure it out if you chose the other pile. And then we have changes. Okay. So yeah, pile 2, most definitely, I feel like you might be making a major decision. Okay. It's like, are you going to leave? Like, should you leave or should you stay? Look up the lyrics to that song. should I stay or should I go? I believe it's in Stranger Things. Okay, maybe you're into Stranger Things. I'm so sorry. I'm like going on a whole tangent, but like, hey, I'm channeling someone here. But what I can say is, I feel like, yeah, some of you guys are thinking about disconnecting or detaching yourself from a situation. Definitely take time to think about it, because I feel like this is part of the changes you're going through. No matter what, I feel like you will be guided in the right direction. But the main message is, it's okay to want clarity. You deserve clarity. You deserve some form of closure, right? So definitely speak up on it, okay? Don't be afraid to express what you're feeling. But first process them, figure out what you're feeling, figure out why you're feeling the way you are, and then you make changes based on that. So now I'm going to look into the Star Seeds deck. So the first card we have is Courage. Live your life fearlessly with courage, strength, and determination. Okay. Next card is Free Spirit. To be a free spirit is to float without walls, to fly without judgment, and to love without conditions. You're not bounded, pal 2. I don't know who needs to hear this. You are not trapped. And we have the 8 of Swords here. So if you feel like you're trapped, you're not. You have a right to say no. You have a right to disconnect. So you're not bounded. Okay. And then we got Earth Guide. Your sacred calling upon this earth is to simply love and to be loved. So if this is pertaining to reciprocity, if this is romantic, a relationship, a friendship, or even at work, just know you deserve all the things you're dishing out. All right. And I feel like you are a pretty loving person, whoever I'm speaking to. You might be connected to a starseed system, like Mintaka. If you're not into that, girl, don't even listen. I'm just speaking at this point, but maybe look into it. But I feel like you guys have a lot of love to give, and most importantly, you have unconditional love. But I feel like sometimes you end up giving that love to people that don't really appreciate it or don't really see the value of it. And honestly, it's okay. It's okay if that happens. But if you notice that that energy is not being returned back, then that's when you have to restore the balance. That's when you have to say something. That's when you have to express, hey, I don't feel comfortable with this, or hey, I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel this. It's okay for that. But I feel like the one thing that you are being encouraged to work through is finding courage, finding that reassurance and feeling empowered within yourself. And that's what I'm getting with the King of Wands. You know, you guys give off like King or Queen of Cups, like the water sign. You guys give off Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer vibes. So it's kind of like you're being encouraged to be more of this King of Wands, right? Be more of that fire energy. Be unapologetically you. Like, it's okay to be that. It's okay to be authentic. Throat chakra is all about you and your authenticity. You are a free spirit. You're not bounded to a specific label. You're not bounded to whatever title people give you. No, you are multidimensional, multifaceted. So live in that truth. And you are an earth guide. You are some may even call you an earth angel, because you have a lot of love to give. You have a lot of compassion. People gravitate towards you. So definitely tap more into that, but understand your boundaries at the same time. If you're feeling something, trust that feeling, but also be logical. Okay. So I think that's the message that wants to come through. Now we have take inspired actions. You've placed your order with the universe. Now take steps that feel in total alignment with that. Okay. So, pile 2, additionally, if you feel like part of the confusion that you're dealing with is not knowing what your next steps are, just know you have placed your order. Okay. Amazon, you have placed your order, and your prayers, manifestations, intentions have been heard. You're being called to just take action, take inspired action. If something inspires you, if something feels right to you, or it works logically, then most definitely go towards that path. And just know you're making progress as you're doing so. But this is all about you, again, being confident and courageous in your own decision making. All right. You're not trapped. It may feel like that right now. It may feel like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Yes, you do. You know what's going on. You just have to be confident in that vision you have for yourself. Okay. And then for the final card, which would be a self-care, we have be still. Number 4. So if you feel like you need time alone, to think, to meditate, definitely do that. And sometimes, yes, you're being called to take action, but again, there's something here about process things first. So be still, figure out what you're feeling, figure out what you want to do. And when you meditate, allow the channel to flow through you so that you can be inspired and then take action, okay? But I'm also being encouraged to tell you, maybe you want to speak out your thoughts to people, those that you trust, of course. And I feel like there might be some gems spoken through those conversations. So if you feel like you're by yourself a lot, maybe open up a little bit. And I think that's how you're going to get inspired, or maybe you'll get an idea from just a simple conversation you're having with someone. Okay. So with that being said, pile 2, I hope that resonated, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Hello, pile 3. So if you chose the pink cat's eye, this is your reading. So this is one of my favorite crystals I have to date. And the meaning behind this crystal, there's multiple meanings, of course, but this is mostly speaking of protection, especially psychic protection. And since it is the color, well, yes, color pink, and it's the shape of a heart, this is most definitely dealing with psychic protection, especially with any type of situations dealing with matters of the heart. So maybe you feel like you need a little bit more protection when it comes to the people you're dealing with, or maybe your connections need more protection. But I'm also getting you, pile 3, might be a bit psychic, okay? You guys might be a little bit intuitive, a little bit empathic, you know, and you have some gifts. And of course, anybody with these gifts need that extra spiritual protection. I want to look into your current energy to see what's going on with you, and we'll get into your reading. Okay, so let's see. Pile 3. What does pile 3 need to know? What's their current energy? Okay, so we have teach. This is technically the Hierophant in this deck. Okay, and then the over energy is master. This is technically the devil in tarot. Yeah, you know what's so crazy? As I'm looking at this card, it kind of looks like he's locking up his heart as in to protect it, you know, because there might be this fear of, oh, am I going to get hurt? I can't trust people. But then we also have teach. So I'm wondering, pile 3, have you been through karmic connections? Have you had the tendency of dealing with people that ended up burning you in the end, but you somehow were able to break out of the cycle, or you learned very major lessons from those cycles, and now you're teaching people how to get out of those cycles, right? It's kind of like you became the master of those karmic cycles, and now you have the tools to really help people who are going through similar situations that you've had in the past. And we got trust. I feel like you're someone people go to, pile 3. Like you're some type of master, you're some type of coach in some way, or maybe you teach in some way. I'm not too sure, but I'm definitely getting you've done enough research, or you've gone through enough experiences to have knowledge and wisdom that can really help people. And if you haven't been doing things like that lately, I feel like that could be the path you're going down, where you will be helping people during very tough scenarios in life because you went through it already, but you mastered it. So I'm definitely getting, this is confirmation, you have mastered a very tough cycle or some type of lesson. You mastered it. Like, it's like very karmic. And I feel like you recently broken out of that cycle, and now you are teaching. Some of you guys might even have a pet. I'm even getting, you're doing more research on whatever you went through. I feel like some of you guys are even in school. Like you're somehow in some type of institution, or yeah. Let me know if that resonates, y'all. So, and I'm also getting earth energy. So Taurus, Capricorn. Yeah, maybe some Virgo. But I'm definitely getting a lot of earth placements here. So now let's get into your reading. I just saw 333. Maybe you are a life path 3 or 33. And you're pile 3 too, which is funny. Okay, so let's see what messages, what uplifting messages does pile 3 need to know? We have the 10 of Swords. Yeah. You guys went through, y'all had it rough. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you guys because I get it. I totally get this feeling. 10 of Swords. Okay, what else does pile 3 need to know? Wow. We got the 8 of Wands and then the 6 of Wands. Pile 3. I'm gonna clap for y'all. Give me a second. Good job. Okay, because, you know, I literally just said this. I feel like you mastered a very tough cycle. Over energy, Princess of Swords, and then the underlying energy is the Nine of Pentacles. I admire you, Pile 3. That's all I gotta say. I greatly admire you, because for you to get out of a very tough experience and for you to be at the top finally, and you have all this knowledge, and now people are respecting you and people are looking up to you, is amazing. If this hasn't happened yet, this is happening in the near future. So let me break this down to you. The Ten of Swords speaks of hitting rock bottom. This is someone who possibly have felt betrayed, someone who went through a very dark night of the soul. This is someone who, this is literally rock bottom, y'all. Like, so whatever your situation is, if this is dealing with any sector of life, is talking about you reached the bottom and the only way now is up. So I feel like you went through this already. And this is talking about like a very karmic cycle that was painful, a very painful ending that occurred. We have the Eight of Wands. This speaks of rapid change and movement. This is talking about something finally progressing and changes are next in line. And this is fast, it's quick paced. And then the last card is Six of Wands. This is speaking of victory, finally rising above all the mess, finally being successful, finally being able to get out of this and say, I did that. I was able to overcome anything. Because I went through this situation, because I went through these multiple situations, nothing can stop me. I'm strong. I am resilient. I am unstoppable. That's you, Pile 3, or this is going to be you in the near future. And I feel like a lot of people they're possibly aware of the situation you went through or the lessons you went through. Some of you guys, this is dealing with relationships, karmic relationships, possibly always dealing with the wrong type of people, or possibly, you know, giving your trust to certain people, but you end up not, you know, you get the short end of the stick at the end of the day. This can even be dealing with friends, you know, you trusting the wrong people, or you just dealing with the wrong people in general. If that's not the case, this could be you constantly having to work harder than most people at your career or at school. And it's like you are always the one dealing with setbacks and delays and challenges. And it's kind of like you never had a break. Like even life in general, it was never a break for you. You always were dealing with something. It was always something, you know. And some people deal with that. Some people, unfortunately, have to go through those lessons, or they go through these experiences and just doesn't make sense. But for you, Pile 3, you went through it and you came out stronger than ever. And I see people looking up to you, people celebrating you. And I see people even asking you, hey, how did you do it? Like, what did you do to get out of a tough situation or a tough chapter like that? And I see you kind of preaching. I see you giving out advice. And I think that's part of your life purpose. So if you feel like your life has been hard and difficult and you're finally getting that break, yes, this is confirmation for you. You're getting a break. And I don't think it's just like a temporary break. It's like you're getting out of the cycle. Yeah, let me rephrase that. It's not a break. You're actually getting out of the cycle. And now you're in your winning season. And your winning season is going to be lasting possibly for the rest of your life. So this is a very good sign with this. But I also want to mention, Pile 3, because of the stuff you went through, whatever the case may be, this is a reminder to please not allow that to change who you are as a person. If you've always had an amazing heart and you were giving, but unfortunately you were dealing with people that took advantage of you, don't let those situations change you. Don't let those situations make you the monster that you were hurt by. So if you're in this energy of like, oh, I'm never going to love, or I'm always going to be, you know, terrible to people because they were terrible to me, don't do that. You're not going to get anything out of that. Taking out your anger or taking out your frustration and your grudges against people that really had nothing to do with it. Okay? Like, don't punish new people into your life because of previous mistakes of those that you dealt with. That's what I gotta say about that. So that's just a small message for someone out there, but just remember that. Continue to be pure-hearted, because that's really gonna take you places, whether you believe it or not. All right? So, but this looks like a winning season. Like, you're about to step into this, or maybe you're in it already. Again, take what resonates. So now I want to look into your oracle cards. We have trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Okay. So despite everything, Pile 3, you are being heavily guided and supported during this new chapter that I actually feel like I'm getting a lot of Capricorn. I'm getting cardinal signs, actually. I'm getting Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. I feel the need to tell you this because this is even if you have those placements. Pluto has been sitting in Capricorn for the last 16 years. So if you feel like the last 16 years were very tough for you, there's good news. Pluto is about to transition to Aquarius. During this time, Pluto was essentially breaking down the cardinal signs, especially Capricorn, breaking them down to build them back up stronger. So a lot of times, these signs for the past 16 years have been going through it, going through ego deaths, going through different difficult situations that were essentially breaking down who they were so that they can be built up into this new transformed version of themselves. So I feel like this is part of the cycle that's ending. Pluto will officially transition to Aquarius on November 19th of this year of 2024. So whenever you're watching this, this is your confirmation that that cycle is finally ending and you will be showing up, showing out brand new. So this card is basically saying, what would you do if you knew you were supported? Which you are supported. So what would you do? What is your next step? And this is saying like, sky's the limit. Like you can do whatever you have to do, whatever you want. So just be creative with it and follow your passions, follow what brings you that passion. Okay. We got stay in integrity. Oh, I just said this. I just said, continue to have a pure heart. Even if you got hurt, even if people were terrible to you, don't let those experiences change you, okay? What we need is more people to heal, okay? We cannot let people in this world, you know, have this mindset of, I'm going to hurt people because I got hurt. No, we don't need no more of that, y'all. We're about to enter the age of Aquarius. We are all about compassion over here, forgiving, moving forward, and looking at the bigger picture and healing, okay? Stay in integrity. And we got to take a breath. So, wherever you believe in God, the universe, the divine, they're basically saying like, take a breather, okay? Relax. The hard part is over. The tower that you went through is over. You can relax. You can wind down because now it's smooth sailing from here moving out because you learned the lesson, you mastered it, and now it's your time to shine, boo. And I feel like a lot of people can take a lot of knowledge and wisdom from your own experiences. And I'm hearing a ringing in my left ear. That's confirmation. Okay, let's see what else. This is from the Starseeds deck. Free spirit. To be a free spirit is to float without walls, to fly without judgment, and to love without conditions. You are a free spirit, and you're encouraged to be a free spirit. Pile 3. We have wisdom. Yep. See your adversaries as opportunities to expand your spiritual light. Like I said, it's kind of like you're being used as a lesson. Well, no, not like a lesson, but like as an example. And that's not in a bad way at all. It's kind of like for you to go through these lessons and to come out in this manner so strong and more powerful, you're going to help so many people, Pile 3. If you haven't already done so, you will in the future. And you're going to help so many people. And I feel like that's all the justice that's going to be coming back to you. The praise, the acknowledgement, the respect, heavy on the respect. And I feel like so many people are going to admire you. And I see a lot of love coming through. So just know you have a lot to give. This is the wisdom that's needed in this world. And I think you can help a lot of people who are going through similar situations as you. Okay, and we got intuition. Trust your intuition. It has been guiding you to the answers that you seek. So continue to trust your intuitions. Continue to trust that inkling within you because you are being guided. All right. And then we have create new patterns. What you're doing is important. You're breaking toxic ancestral patterns and making healthy ones. So I'm also feeling like, Pile 3, perhaps the tough lessons or the tough cycle you were in was actually a generational cycle, a generational trauma, or a generational curse. Perhaps your own family has been fighting off this thing or whatever this situation is, and you are the one to finally put an end to it. Okay, whatever cycle this is, you notice in your mom or your father, your grandparents, your uncles, your aunts, even your own siblings, if you have any, You are the one to break that chain, okay, and to stop that cycle. And let me just tell you, because you did that, because this already happened, because you did that, Pal 3, now you're creating a brand new tree. You're creating a brand new pattern that's healthier, that's full of growth and success. And this is, shoot, if we want to get very spiritual, this is on a genetic level. This is on a DNA level. You're changing it up. And you're making sure that even the people that come after you, your descendants, they're not going to have to deal with whatever cycle this is. So you're doing big things, Pal 3. I just know you are doing it. So the last card is going to be some self-care. What you can do is flow like water. So we got the number 24. Maybe 24 is significant for you. But if you like the beach, if you like water, I would highly suggest maybe work with that element. Take a vacation, you know. I think that's what you need, a very good vacation to the beach, by the river, be outside, take a bubble bath, spiritual bath, whatever the case may be. Definitely be near water to help release everything and start brand new. I think doing a good releasing session, or like I'm not sure if you guys like, you know, the ritual, or like a cleansing thing to represent the ending of one chapter and the beginning of a new one. Doing something like that could really help with your transition. But with that being said, Pal 3, I hope this resonated. I'm sending you lots of love, and just know you can breathe now. You can sit down and you can relax and let your worries flow away. Okay? So with that being said, I hope to see you guys later. Bye.